YouTube, what the crap's going on? HeirofCarthage here, and that's right, I am in command of Sartosa with RNS Assault Spite, though I do think I forgot to change the banner over to her specific sub-faction. And I was going up against Khorne, and this was against Ghost King, and this is on my stream, and so I didn't know exactly what to expect from Khorne. Khorne can mix things up a little bit now that they have Marauder Horsemen. In fact, I think Marauder Horsemen make Khorne very dangerous in several matchups. Khorne in general is very dangerous for the coast in the sense that Furies and other diving units can swarm in and really make foot skirmishers and artillery a big liability. So I decided to go with the setup here, which is the double Necrofex, Aranessa as the Lord, because that was the request from Senchibat, who picked my faction for me, the longtime supporter and awesome member of my community. A Prophet Senchibat, and I've got a Vampire Fleet Captain with Deep, and a couple of spells there. I've got, what did I bring? So I brought Denizens of the Deep to summon some Prometheans, and I also got Van Geist Revenge, which is kind of a large breath spell. Some zombies up front, and then I've got a lot of Depth Guard, so it's a double Necro and then Depth Guard, so 3 standard Depth Guard. These guys are really tanky against infantry. They don't pierce armor per se, like as armor piercing, but they've got a fair bit of it at 20. And then I brought some pole arms in the very back. So that's going to be my army. From the get-go, I thought about targeting the Skull Cannon. Not much came of it, so I decided to start targeting the Minotaurs instead. You see there's a Minotaur Khorne with great weapon working its way down either flank. The infantry is Marauders of Khorne. Now see, I expected a little bit heavier infantry, but Khorne went ahead and spent their money on the Minotaurs and the Exalted Bloodthirster. And that Bloodthirster is a large target. There's also some Chaos Furies of Khorne back here. And again, I didn't want to just feed the Furies and the other fast-moving units, which is why I left at home some of the foot skirmishers that you'll see. So infantry-wise, he's going to have a difficult time dealing with my infantry with just his. It's not going to be easy. However, his Bloodthirster is a very powerful unit. His Minotaurs are powerful units. I don't have much mobility, and I'm going to have to do the best I can. Now, some of you might be thinking, well, his army is still too small. There's got to be something else somewhere. Well, there is. He's also got the Knights of the Brazen working their way over here, so a very real possibility to kill a lot of my elite infantry with that if I'm not careful. I'm going to call in Denizens of the Deep here to help out in the infantry fight. Help my zombies just kind of tank this one out longer. I'm going to reinforce these fights with Depth Guard. I'm going to try to be careful to help my Depth Guard not get completely overwhelmed in any one spot. I sent the Polearm unit over here to help drive out the Minotaurs. You can see the Bloodthirster on his way. This is a very powerful melee unit, so I'm going to have to respect this unit and be careful. So yeah, you can see the Furies flying over here. They're getting shot by the guns on the back of the Necrofex. The Skull Cannon really picked at one of my Necrofex units and got some good work done. I'm trying to pick into this fight because those Minotaurs are really hurting my Depth Guard. It's not ideal for me. And then here comes, I'm winding up a, what do you call it, the Van Geist Revenge, but right when I do, his units rout, so there was no purpose. It looked good. I don't know that it did much, but it looked great. Anyway, I'm using Aranessa to help clean up a few of the Minotaurs in the other play. She is anti-large and armor-piercing. A little bit squishy because of her low armor, but she can do some good damage against large. Now, I still have not seen the Knights of the Brazen sneaking up on me at this point because I had a lot going on up front. So I'm going to see what they're about to do. The Bloodthirster comes out to my fleet captain, and I did not want him dead. So I'm going to send some help over here. I've got the pole arms. The Bloodthirster, as tough as he is, he's not going to want to end up in this fight for very long. Boy, he took a shot right to the butt from that Necrofex, so we're going to push him out. Looks like he's using Horn of Khorne and Deathbringer. He's taking a lot of shots. He's a big target. He's pretty easy for my Necrofex to hit. But like I said, here comes that Knights of the Brazen, and I'm extremely concerned about them. It was about this time when I noticed them running my way, but it was all but too late. And fortunately for me, though, where they charge in, oh my gosh, even against the polearms, they weren't braced. Look what that unit did to the polearms. It was a strange place to charge them, but I mean, there's not a whole lot of other place to send them. I think this unit should have been the one that he tried to single out with the Knights of the Brazen. Stay away from those polearms a little bit longer. If he can clear out this Depth Guard, maybe start trying to work on the other one. But you can see he paid the price. Like, there was a troll toll to be paid there, as Turin would say. whenever the Knights of the Brazen came through that polearm unit. I'm going to continue to fire at the Bloodthirster. He is a good target. I've used the net to kind of hold him still. He came after Aranessa, and Aranessa is in the middle of a really nasty fight, but she is holding her own. I mean, sawfish legs and all. I'm kind of shocked at this moment because, I mean, she is in way over her head over here, but she's spinning around and jinking and dodging, and somehow, like I said, still alive and all this. I sent Van Geist Revenge up again. Not sure how much it's going to do. It ended up pummeling those Minotaurs and other units a little bit. So it wasn't great, but, you know, we got some work done with it. My other option was to summon some Rotting Prometheans, which we could have done. You can see here that the Knights of the Brazen now taking a beating. I've targeted them some with my Necrofex units, and I'll target them more now that they're pulling out of that blob. See, the Skull Cannon went and got some more ammunition and is now firing away at me. These Necrofex, they've been really good for me because they've just been shooting and shooting. Khorne doesn't have much to deal with them, and that's good because when a Necrofex Colossus gets to use all its ammo, assuming they weren't just targeted at like peasants or zombies, they're going to get some good value. And for me, it's been good value. See that Skull Cannon trying to take out a few of my polearms there, which is definitely a prudent target. Now, at this point, I am targeting Knights of the Brazen, realizing that they are the most dangerous unit left. So I'm going to turn my attention to them and kind of fire this way. Here it comes. This is the kind of target that the Necrofex is quite good against. A large target with multiple entities. Necrofex kind of shoots a large scattergun. Not great against smaller targets, but you know, large targets and groups of large targets are excellent for them. That's going to be what they do best. So I'm able to get a lot of work done against the Knights of the Brazen. The Bloodthirster comes back for more against Aranessa, and we'll see how she holds. I'm going to use the net again because it drops his melee defense and gives me a good opportunity. And Aranessa, I mean, to her credit, she may be getting knocked around a little, but she basically got in here and took on a Exalted Bloodthirster. She is going to live to tell the tale. So there she is. There's the Denizens of the Deep coming in late too, and that is going to be a victory. A victory for Aranessa Saltspite over an Exalted Bloodthirster. Now, Khorne could take this a lot of different directions. I think I'm quite lucky that I didn't end up against like 3 or 4 Marauder Horsemen. That would have been a pain in the butt to deal with only 2 Necrofex. He could have just been like coming in and harassing the ever-loving crap out of me with those. So I think that bringing some Marauder Horsemen, probably leaving the Exalted Bloodthirster at home, and probably the Minotaurs as well. I don't know. It depends. They might could come in handy because they are very powerful units. But I think if you leave the Exalted Bloodthirster and the Knights of the Brazen at home, bring some tougher infantry, maybe swap a few things around with the Marauder Horsemen being in there, and I think that it gets pretty difficult for Coast to stand up to this. I don't know what you all think. I kind of feel like Khorne could maybe have an edge over Coast. But then again, Coast has some decent options here, and they don't rout. And like Death Guard are really tough for Khorne. I mean, I think the Marauder Horsemen are probably one of the better ways to deal with them in terms of just, they don't have shields, so you should be able to get a lot of damage. But how do you deal with the Necrofex Colossus as Khorne? Do you just try and swamp it with some Furies until you can get some other work done? I mean, it's an interesting one. I'm trying to think about the Skull Cannon's not great against it value-wise, so I think that leaving the Skull Cannon at home and picking something else would help here as well. But I'm trying to think about that from Khorne's sake, and you all can tell me what you think down in the comments, like what kind of Khorne builds that you would take to potentially face something like this, because I don't feel like the Coast has a ton of options. I mean, they could switch things up a little bit, but I mean, just going skirmishy against Khorne seems real risky, just because of all the things they could do to shut it down. And so I feel like the Coast has to get a little more melee-centric, but they also can't go without range because of the Horsemen. Anyway, I'd love to hear it. Like I said, I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts on this one. It was an interesting matchup, and I knew it was going to be somewhat crazy, which is why I picked what I did. My pick worked out good here. It doesn't always work out that way. But anyway, HeirofCarthage is signing out for now. I will see you all soon with some more action in Total War Warhammer 2.